All right, so we out here today. We got our rear end housing pretty much cleaned up. Just hosed it off and degreased it. We got the brakes off and emergency brake cables and all that. So we'll let this dry. We cleaned up the drive shaft. I had this drive shaft made a whole bunch of years ago, but it don't have any miles on it because I had a 69 GMC this bed came off of, and it had a turbo 400 with 350 in it, and I put the 396 that came with this truck in it to try to run it and see how it was going to do it. I'm glad I did because it had 2 cracked heads on it. But anyway, so I had this drive shaft made for that combination, which I know would have fit this deal. So we got it. It's got new universals all in it. But I got a new center support because that's rubber, and we'll probably replace that. But we got this axle housing. We'll put the wheels back on it so we can get the jack stands up underneath this truck and pull this cross member out. We'll roll this one over to it and put it back up under it later. But right now we're trying to concentrate on getting this thing ready to paint these parts while the weather's nice. So that's what we're doing right now. I did decide, I ordered brake drums last night, so that will round out the brake system. It'll all be brand new. So brake drums are coming. So we're gonna get the wheels back on this thing, and then we'll go from there. I also cleaned up on the frame here where this cross member was in, so that when I paint I can touch that up. So these rails will be pretty much complete then. All right, so my plans changed. I got up under this thing and the cross member's kind of pitted up and stuff. So I started looking at this cross member and these A-frames. They look to be in much better shape and look like they'll clean up a lot better. So we're going to break this down and paint this, and then we'll try to take the big block springs out of that. If not, we might order a new set of big block springs. I really didn't want to, for the simple reason that I'm having a hard time finding them. Plus, I don't want them to have too much tension on them and set the truck too high in the front. But we'll see how that goes. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But right now, we're going to break this front end down. All right, so we got the biggest part of this thing tore down now. The daggone springs are out of it. The spindles are broke off of it, so we can go ahead and get to tearing down on it. Since I got all the hardware to rebuild this, I'm probably going to go ahead and break the lower bushings and the upper bushings apart. So I got something to pull against, and then we'll go from there. All right, so we got the bushing nuts, or whatever you call them, loosened up on this side, and we went to do this side, got the bottom one loosened. Somebody has welded this one in. I don't know what was up with that, but we're gonna have to cut that loose. They made a mess for us to clean up, so we'll get that before we can take it apart. All right, so I don't know if that's why they welded it, but either way, that lip off the front is gone. So I got some spares around here somewhere. If I got this one, that's what I'm gonna do, is just use a spare. All right, so here's the matching side, a spare. And somebody's already put a ball joint in it, but I'm not going to use that ball joint, of course. But hopefully it'll clean up as well as this one would have. So we'll see what we can do. Alright, so we got the shaft out, and it is definitely much better than one was on there. But whether it'll clean up or not, we'll see. But let's get after it. Alright, so we got one of these taken apart. We got to press the ball joint out, and then it'll be ready to clean up and paint. So we're gonna have after it. Alright, we got the ball joints out these lower control arms, and they're all completely broken down now. I'm running out of daylight fast, so I don't know. I guess I'll get this stuff cleaned up and see how far we can get before the sun sets on me. Don't look like I'm gonna get any paint sprayed today, so anyhow, we'll see. Alright, so I think this control arm's gonna clean up pretty good. A lot of that, what looked like pitting, is just dirt. So I think this will be a good matching set of control arms. So I don't think that's going to be a problem. Actually, that's the bad arm right there. But yeah, this is about the same finish as the other, so I think it'll be fine. But it's getting dark on me, and I'm not going to have time to paint anything today, so I think I'm going to gather up my tools and call it. We got this rear end cleaned up pretty nice. We got to finish the trailing arms up. Got to do these control arms. We got this cross member partially done. The bottom side is almost all done, and the top side's got a lot of paint on it, so it takes a little bit longer to clean up, but it'll clean up a lot nicer. So we'll get it all cleaned up, and then we'll get it in some paint. That way we can get it all put back together and rebuild everything. So I'm getting anxious, but if I don't take the time to do this right, it's not going to be right, and then I'm going to be mad later. So I'm just chipping away at it, making it happen. Like I said, I got the ball joints pressed out of these. They were in there pretty good. They're going to clean up real nice. So like I said, we're gonna quit for the evening, and we'll get back on it tomorrow. Hopefully, the weatherman said, or the weather forecast said, that it wasn't gonna be as warm tomorrow as it was today. It was actually, I think, warmer today than what they said it was gonna be. So maybe it'll be warmer tomorrow than they said it's gonna be, and I can get the stuff painted. That's my goal. So I need to get the tie rods off of this, get the center link cleaned up. The center link you reuse because there's no wear. It's tapered holes. There's no wear places on this. The tie rods wear, the idler arm wears, and the pitman arm wears, but there's no wear on the center link, so it doesn't need to be replaced. So, and we've got the tie rods, those fancy adjusting sleeves, and we've got upper and lower ball joints, the kits that have the A-frame bushings in them, upper and lower. So we got all that stuff. So just as soon as we get all this painted, then we can get to assembly. So I hope y'all have noticed. I'm trying to upload at least one video a day, and they're running about 2 days behind on the actual work. But it's coming along real quick. Not quick as I want it to, probably not near as quick as you want it to, but like any other projects, ain't nobody wants it done any quicker than I do, but I want it right. So, and if you look at this frame, this is the way the rest of that suspension is going to look when I get it cleaned up and painted. So, but as soon as we can get this thing back a roller, then it's going to be quick to get the engine in there, the transmission, then we'll take and swap the cabs, and that'll be pretty much it. I mean, once this thing's a roller, the rest of it's going to come pretty quick. So y'all stay tuned, and I'll show you. I mean, it's like I said, it's coming together real quick. Biggest thing is the weather held me up for a minute, but like I said, if I get this in some paint, we'll be rolling around really nicely. All right, y'all. I'm gonna clean this mess up and then get started on it in the morning.